Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm just now leaving my brother's, um, heading home. Sunday night, we didn't have church, and I was sitting in my chair in the afternoon, and I said to my wife, I said, I want to get over to Brian's house over in Illinois, my brother, and go get that stuff before bad weather sets in. So I up and left. And I drove over there on Sunday night, got to his house probably around midnight-ish, something like that. And then the next day we loaded up the truck and I moved back home. And forgot a couple of things, some good things, a smoker and one of those, they gave me their fire pit thing. And it's not just one of the dishes with a cover, it's nice. And my sister-in-law said that she'd probably never use it, and so Amy got that for her birthday. Thank you, Chris. Uh, my trip over there was really good. There's some construction, but nothing that hung me up. They weren't working, and I got into Illinois and it was raining. I thought, what am I doing? Loading up stuff in the rain. And then it finally quit, and I got there, and the next day, sunshine, but it was cold. And later on in the morning, when the sun was really shining for a while, it warmed up enough to where you could work outside. And so that evening, I left to come home, as you will see. I didn't do any filming of the trip. I have one clip of when I left their house and I was doing about 15-20 miles an hour. I filmed a short clip and then went on my merry way. Oh, wrong turn after wrong turn. Not paying attention. It was dark, and I didn't get home till 2 o'clock in the morning. So, anywho, without further ado, here are some of the goodies that I brought home. Was it worth going that far to get what I got? Not really, but I got to see my brother and his family again, and that made it worth it right there. I'd go over there and not bring anything home. It's what you do with your family. So the next time, maybe, if it's not going to be such a big load, I can bring my wife and kids with me, and then maybe not make wrong turns or forget to turn. One I will tell you right now. Hang on a second. Alright, I'll show you where we're at. Hartford, Belvedere, Harvard, Lawrence. This is where my brother lives. So, I come down here, and Marengo. And then I'm going to come down here to get to the expressway, only it's dark out, and I'm not paying attention, and I turn here. And when I get to here, this intersection at night, when you're not, I haven't lived over there since like 2001. It looks just like this intersection here coming from this way. So as soon as I hit here, I knew where I was at. I was used to, in the old days, coming down here and turning down here to go to work. So coming off of 176, turning south on 47, you're going to turn left. So I got here and I just automatically turned left, and I knew as soon as I did it, I was wrong. So that was my first mistake, was turning at this light instead of at that light. Now getting into Michigan, when you come up through here, okay, Benton Harbor is right here. And this is tricky right here. This is I-196. We don't call it 196, we call it 31. It doesn't say 31 there until you zoom in, and then 31. Is that clear? 31. But this is I-196, and like I said, we always call it 31. But right here is tricky. I pulled off somewhere here to get gas and something to eat, somewhere in that general area. And when I got back on, maybe it was down here, you don't see signs for 31. There's a couple of small signs there. You don't see it. If you don't see it, this just keeps going straight. And then you come around here and you go over here. And next thing you know, and the next thing you know, what do you know? Oh, next thing you know, how come I can't see what's going on? Oh, way over here, way over here. You see signs for Kalamazoo. Yep. Oh, Wally didn't know he was off track until he got, like, right there. Right there. Because then all of a sudden, boom, I had to get over and make the turn to go north on 131. When I was supposed to go here. I have missed that so many times in my life, and many people that I know that have traveled that for years miss it as well. It's tricky. But I wonder if it's because we're calling that 31, and there might be signs all over the place for I-196. I just phoned upstairs to my wife and told her about it. And we got to start looking for signs that say I-196. Now that's an interstate, so there should be plenty of signs for that. Now I have to retrain my thinking to call it I-196. Okay, I have bored you enough with that, but just to say, look at how much I went out of my way, all the way over to there, up through here, all the way up to Grand Rapids, and then over here to Muskegon, then and then up to home where the blue dot is. So if you keep your eye on that blue dot, and you know, I should have followed the lakeshore, but I went all the way over here to Kalamazoo and then north. I got home at 2 o'clock in the morning. All right then. I'm only doing 20 right now, and I'm not going to be filming while I'm driving, except for this little clip right here. I'm loaded down again. Some stuff when I show you, you're going to be like, Wally, what in the world are you doing with that stuff? But, oh, you know, me and stuff. All right, signing off. Let's see, we unloaded the patio set. The table needs to be put back together. The legs are in 3 pieces, but there's all the chairs. And of course you're seeing some of the junk on the trailer. This is how this road all the way home, except for this ski was taken off. And then we dropped, I don't know what you'd call it, down over the edge, and that way we could fit some of that junk on there. Hey, watch your step. Yeah, so that was pretty interesting. Now I'm going to unload this myself without the car on there. Wheel chocks on that side, wheel chocks on the front side, and you know what I need to do is go get the other video camera and prop it up. That's what I should do. Maybe I can just prop this one up. That had a free sign on it, said it works. I plugged it in and it's working. Well, so far, we'll see. Not a profitable trip. I did get some goodies. I might as well show you now. All right, we wanted an upright freezer. And I prefer a more efficient one, but I could also keep this out in the garage, not plug it in and put apples in it for the winter. And we may do that this winter. This propane tank, it's got the old style valve, but it's full of propane. He took it off an RV. He also has one of those bottles that come up about this high, full of propane. Has the old style valve on there, but this hose right there goes right back there and wraps around there. Takes that kind of tank, which the new ones have both, but being that it's old tanks. Now, we had no room whatsoever to put that tall tank, so it's gonna have to come a different trip. I got this for Vern across the street. Needs a little bit of work, but his wheelbarrow is over 30 years old and falling apart. So I told him I'd pick him one up. Now this one's got a hole down in the middle. I'll just hammer it back in and maybe put some light welds on it. See what happens there. Tires might need tubes in there. I don't think they'll hold air, but we'll see. Other than that, we got him a good one. All right, next. I picked something up at the auction too. I'm not going to show it on this vid, so I'm going to have to pause right here because it's right there in that box, right there. Yep. Let's take a little peek. Oopsie daisy. Hang on. Okay, bag full of rags for the shop. Little slicer, because we buy these great big, I call them a loaf of cheese, like you would see in the deli before they open it up and start cutting, big round one. And we buy those at the Amish store. And so we'll cut off just a chunk and then be able to slice it. I think someone gave him that. Maybe he found it. I don't know. All these hinges, he's got a bunch more. Brand new in a package. I said, I don't know what I'd do with it, but I'll take it. Found this in the garbage. It works. I don't need it, but I'll give it to the boys. This neat fan. And then just all sorts of stuff in here. Fuel lines. There's a stapler. And let's see what this is. Still in the, oh, that's a bunch of staples. Yeah, and I got this neat fuel line here, or fuel filter. There's a fuel filter, and I got a valve. I need one of them for when I have my makeshift gas tank for the Harley, but I'm hoping to get that thing fixed sometime. We bought one of these brand new just the summer before we moved in. Before we started, it scared me. The summer before we moved into this house, we bought one of those, and we really like them, but these will break. After using them, they'll get cracked. So I'm going to rob some parts off there to get ours going. Another live trap, cute little one, like what George's been using to catch squirrels. Submersible pump. Got that. Shop light, but I'm going to put an LED bulb in there. I got some paneling nails. I got this little buddy heater. He said it will light up, but it won't stay lit. So maybe the pilot orifice just needs to be blowed out. Got me McAuliffe. How do you pronounce that? I can never say it right. Chainsaw. Don't know anything about it, except it's right there. Free. I got a house light with a chainsaw. And that I got from that house yonder ways and had to take it apart. Those 3 screws in the back were rivets. I had to drill them out, remove that piece, put everything back together down in there. So I had to disassemble the whole thing. And then I got some bolts with slotted screw, or Phillips, yeah, slotted, and put some nuts on there, and it's like new. I don't need it, but I'm going to put it on Craigslist. Oh. I got this. Brian has another one. It's got like this shaft is longer, so there's like 3 of these braces. This one has problems. The ratchet mechanism, something is giving up the ghost. I had just enough clicks to get it that tight. But a guy can use a ratchet strap on there if you can't find replacement parts. Who knows? But that's a cool item. He found a cloth bag that had like 4 of these in there, brand new. And after we got everything loaded up, the van was loaded. He said, well, it's time to get the ratchets out, and I started laughing. He said, they're in the cubby hole under the floor in the van, aren't they? I said, yeah, buried. So he drug them out. So I got 3 more straps. Okay, then, well, I'll put it together first, and then I'll turn this back on. He got this bike for Kimmy, that one for the mama, and that one for Ronnie. But I am not good with brakes. I get the kids these bikes for free, or else I'll pay a couple of dollars at the auction, and once the brakes go bad, I throw them away and get more, because you can get bikes for free or next to it. And so this one was probably a few $100s when it was new. Okay, let's see if I can't prop up the camera and you can laugh at me as I do that. Let's see, this would be good prop.